Have you? That's actually interesting because he did bring up the event center in detail, and we kind of talked about it a little bit the last week's episode. But I wouldn't know a lot about it. All I know is that I walked past it every day for the last 3 years and never saw anything built. Then suddenly stuff started happening, and now it's shut down. And it's very confusing. Like, to me, that just seems like it just seems completely stupid.
Yes, but I mean, people are profiting even though there's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's on hold. 700,000 euro in legal fees. I'm sure BAM are getting money by just walking around there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's in their interest.
Why can't they just finish it?
They'd have to start it first.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of How Do You Feel? I'm here in our lovely studio in the Fearless Digital Network. Find them on YouTube, find them on Spotify, follow them. We couldn't do this without them. And with me is my co-host Chris McShane.
Hi, how are we? Welcome to How Do You Feel? And today we've got a lovely guest in today. We have the wonderful Kevin Collins from Cork, yeah?
Thanks for having me, guys.
No, thanks for coming, dude. So Kev Collins I was actually finding it hard, trying to like suss out what your job actually is.
Oh, no, what is Kev Collins?
What is Kev Collins?
I do like from Cork.
From Cork.
And known as from Cork.
Yeah. I feel like you're going to get that reputation where people are going to be like, is that Kev Collins, the Cork fella? Which is good, good. But you're like a journalist, you're a YouTuber, you're a documentarian, you're kind of everything.
Yeah, throwing myself into the deep end.
Yeah. Well, how did you get kicked off with that? Like,
I just quit my job. I'd recommend it.
Yes. Let's go. We had this debate on the podcast about quitting your job, so thank you.
No problem.
I feel vindicated.
Yeah, you're up top. I quit my job, and then I spoke with my family. They were very supportive. So I do work part-time, but then in the other part of my time, I'm able to make the videos and stuff. And I was just loved into cinema, want to make short movies and do all that kind of stuff. But just in terms of like my availability and everybody else's, I'm the only one who's available because I'm the only one who quit my job. So I have to make projects that center around me mostly. So the best thing to do is me talking about things with something behind me. And that seems to be a recipe that's going okay.
Nice.
Do you remember when you first started putting your videos together and posting them? Do you remember what was the first time that one of the videos got a little more attention, where some of the more views started flooding in?
Yeah, absolutely. It was just last May, the Quilcha, the one about the Irish forestry. That's the one that took off.
Yeah. Do you think people like posted it on Reddit or something, or do you know where the views came from?
I don't exactly, but I do see this stuff gets posted on Reddit.
Yeah.
I don't really go there because like that's the harshest place in the world.
Oh yeah, no, it's a
don't go
cesspit.
there.
Yeah.
But it's been an uphill trajectory, and then.
Whoa.
Well, this never happened before.
They're here.
We spoke too much.
Yeah, Reddit is coming.
They're shutting down the studio, lads.
They're all slightly different, and I guess it is journalism. That's just a happy coincidence. Like that's not how I intended to start it. I actually had a late night chat show originally. You can't find them anymore. I wouldn't really be impressed with the quality. But myself and a few of my friends filmed them, and we had guests on and stuff.
Yeah,
class.
I also had a late night chat show with these guys actually. Yeah, pretty much the same thing. They have a lot of work to put on.
Can we find them still?
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Them,
yeah, but it's there's a lot of. It's the same with YouTube videos. There's so much work that people don't realize goes into behind the scenes. And do you edit everything yourself, or is it?
Yeah, that's my sweet spot. I mean, the actual source material is very average, but then by the time you're finished editing it's very polished. So it uses like a lot of non-linear narratives, and you're kind of jumping back and forth. And certainly I only started using TikTok in December, and I guess that taught me a lot about like people's attention span. I know for myself, people's attention span isn't all what it used to be. Societal drain kind of.
Yeah.
But trying to employ some of the TikTok methodology for YouTube videos, which are long form inherently.
Yeah.
But trying to cut it in a way that people stay around for the first minute. I think if you get them after a minute, they'll stay around.
100%, yeah, 100%. That's very fascinating. And I'm just curious personally now. You edit all your own stuff. You said you're really into film. Did you do any degree or education in that, or is it just purely self-taught?
No, I did go to school, but it wasn't for anything to do with cinema.
Yeah, no, I meant for film. I'm sure you went to school in general. You ever been to school? Those are letters.
He says it in one of his videos. He's never been to school.
Hey, do you fawn? So no, it's all self-taught. Yeah. A lot of YouTube videos. I found they're very useful for you can learn everything on YouTube nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, my advice is don't actually go to school anymore. Just stay home and be self-taught.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Stay on the screen.
Yeah.
I went to
Keep
film-
watching YouTube.
I went to film college in England. I had the same experience of like, this was kind of a waste of my time and money because I learned like some stuff that was useful, but I could have learned the same thing if I just kept editing at home instead of going there. So yeah, I definitely agree with you.
I imagine that the perks are you get a network when you go to school and do it though. So
Yeah, but it's kind of a useless network. It's a lot of them are shite.
He was bad at network. Honestly, I think you were just bad at network.
No, a lot of them are just shite. Like, you're gonna go there and people are just really horrible at what they're doing. So you're like, okay, I can't, there's no collaboration here because you don't know what a camera is.
How many years did you do?
4.
4 years. And was it okay? Like, did you come away learning something?
Yeah, I learned a lot about sound. Sound design, sound editing, because that was one of the lectures Sue was good, but some of the other stuff was very naff. Like,
I get you. For me as well, like, the YouTube side of things, the editing, that's one side of it. But you seem to be so knowledgeable about all the inner happenings of the government.
yeah,
You seem to know a lot of stuff that's going on.
It certainly appears that way, but there's a lot of extrapolation. It's hard to get inside City Hall, and you kind of have to look at the way things are and then work back from there to assume what the systems are.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff and policies are available, some isn't, and you have to fill in the gaps with whatever you can.
Whatever you can, yeah.
anyone in City Hall ever get mad at you? Like, anyone would be like, "Who's made that up?"
I'm
He's
sure
lying."
there's mixed opinions, but like this is the kind of civic dialogue we should be having. I
Yeah.
think City Hall should be encouraging it. They should be like, what are the solutions? What do people want? I mean,
Yeah.
we all want the same thing. We all want to live in a nice city. Like, so the goal is there. So
Yeah.
like people chatting about it helps us towards the goal.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I do feel like there is a big disconnect. Even before I ever spotted your videos, I was like, what is this city doing? So I always felt there was a disconnect. And I didn't know, like, if there was any town halls or meetings that you could go to if you needed to, vent your concerns or whatever. I don't know. I just loved your videos, man. Especially about all the little changes around the city. Like, you'd one video talking about the lanterns and stuff, changing all of those. And I don't know how you did it in the video, but it looked lovely. You made Cork look lovely.
Yeah. It doesn't take it. It's easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The fabric is there. The buildings are all there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or removing the Bank of Ireland in by Patrick Street. That to me would have been like, whoa, that's actually gorgeous. You should be in city management yourself.
Oh yeah, I would love it. I think I would love it if the systems were changed. I think if talent goes in, talent dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's very talented people in City Hall, but they're caught up with these systems that are outdated and they're just crippling the place.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're just checking. There's just different brackets. I feel like I know a couple of people that work in City Hall. And when they start out, it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then 6 years down the line, it's like they don't care. They don't care what's going on. They're just trying to get their next tiny little promotion inside and move on. And,
Yeah.
and I've often heard it's like, I'm just there to get paid, And I'm like, that really shouldn't be why you're there.
100%. Like, I don't think we need to be celebrating that. Like, we got this footpath has been replaced. It took 6 years.
Yeah.
€7 million, but the footpath is fixed. Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. And sorry.
I love Cork, by the way. I just got some slack over the weekend. People misrepresenting what I'm saying and what I'm doing, but the place is coming from passion, and it's always looking forward.
Did someone say that you hated Cork?
Not in so few words, but rather a more lengthy take.
Was that what? Someone who saw your videos online?
Yes.
Yeah, but people on the internet are idiots. Like, what do you expect?
I'm on the internet.
Yeah, I stand by what I said. But yeah, that's very fascinating. I really enjoyed the style you do because I was binge watching them all this morning, laying in bed. I watched 6 of the videos, and I enjoyed the style of just the landscape shots and the way they edited together with then you standing on a bridge somewhere speaking about it. I think it's very nicely done. What was your inspiration when it comes to that filmmaking aspect of it? Is there certain documentarians you like, certain movies that stuck with you? Because there was a very the sort of vibe of like a nature documentary, but it's in a city because there's like so many landscape shots and so many vistas that you show.
To me, they've evolved. I mean, they're essentially podcasts, but
Yeah.
they've just evolved to be very cinematic. And it's getting more and more difficult because the story can be not as good because not every story is captivating, but technically they shouldn't be getting worse.
Yeah.
So it takes longer and longer to produce them. And the Ahnish incident really was the one about the pollution in Limerick that did really well. And my inspiration for that was like that HBO Chernobyl miniseries.
Yeah.
You know, it has that vibe. It has like the music is scored in that way. And it evokes that feeling of like catastrophe, which, you know, lucky we don't live in Limerick.
there.
Yeah.
That thing's a powder keg.
Poor fucking Limerick, yeah. That person being like, you hate Cork? No, but talk to me about Limerick.
yeah.
On the plus side, they do have a directly elected mayor, so they've got that going.
That's
for them.
nice.
They do have that
Yeah.
And they are bringing people into their urban core, so they've got strategies on getting people living above the buildings. We don't have any of that going on.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's-
a big thing, right? All the upper halves of our building are just like really ugly
yeah, and empty.
and empty. Yeah.
Yeah. I like talking about that. I heard that there was like a weight limit in certain parts of Cork where they can't build too far high up because of the marshland. But I actually don't know if that's true or not. But I heard that's probably why we don't have as much high-risey stuff.
But a lot of them are already built. Like there's a lot of stuff that's already built above houses.
Yeah,
And you're like
yeah.
when you walk through the city and you just look up, it just looks derelict.
I get you.
Yeah.
And going back to what you were on about with the mayor, why do they have an elected mayor and we don't? Because I don't know much about that, to be honest.
Every county, or not every county, the cities outside of Dublin got to vote if they wanted to have a directly elected mayor or not. And I think Limerick was the only one that did vote for it. And it's good because it gives people a more direct line to democracy, whereas we just have councillors. And then the executive branch of the city is not our democracy. So that's just installed and that just functions.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why we wouldn't vote for that. You know,
So there's a lot
Probably
of
people like me that
some-
didn't vote.
Yeah, I to be fair, I didn't vote either. But yeah, what I've heard hearsay is that there was a push from I think Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael or one of them for a no vote because obviously the government wants you to vote a certain way.
Yeah.
And then the main thing I think people were told to believe that it would cost. You know, there would be a cost to the city.
Okay.
Yeah, that's people always can be persuaded to vote into stuff that isn't in their best interest. Like that happens
Yeah.
so often.
Like fox hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, folks.
It's a rural pursuit.
It's a rural pursuit.
rural pursuit.
I can't believe that one got in, to be honest. The fox hunting. I'm like, not one person here. Like, none of my friends have ever hunted a fox. I can tell you that.
We're going on a stag there, boys. You want to go fox hunting?
Brilliant stuff. But so shall we see what the people say? Shall we get into some suggestions?
Yeah.
See what who's talking about what?
Unfortunately, our timer has gone out, so I have no idea how long we've done, but we might as well.
It was like days.
I'm absolutely shattered.
We might as well look into what the people have said.
Yeah, we did get a lot of suggestions come in for yourself, you know. And I get the general vibe that people are loving your videos and loving that finally there is someone talking about this, because that's the big thing. Like, you find there's a lot of stuff needs to be talked about.
There's
in
a
Cork.
really there's a really like pressing important issue straight away. So I'm sorry to like dive into the deep ends,
God.
but
go.
like I'm sorry to just put something like this on you immediately. But hi Kevin, who do you prefer, Chris or Dan? You have to choose.
I think probably Dan has more going for him.
Let's go.
There we go. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm only kidding. I mean, how could you set me up? I mean, that question is designed to to fail.
It's designed to fail.
I'm just more annoyed I didn't get the memo. I didn't
The
realize
other-
we were dressing up as each other.
The other Kev says Chris. Twinning.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Do all
missing.
bald people look the same to you, Dan?
I would have shaved and trimmed my beard if I.
Only one of us would look like Saddam Hussein if we did have a full head of hair.
If you ever need a stunt double for your videos, though, I'd happily jump in.
That is the direction they're going as well. There's far more like action.
Far more action. But, you know, Cork City's supposed to be safe, but look at this bridge, and then it'll be a clip of me jumping straight up.
Oh,
And the water.
I'll start with a real question because that was
No, a planted question.
That was a real
in
one.
2026.
it wasn't planted. It was real, but
It was real, but it was just
it was just not about anything.
fuck,
important.
marry, kill.
Yeah,
level
fuck,
kind of
marry, kill,
question.
Dan or Chris. Rant time. I'm sick of the allegedly blatant corruption in the city between the massive dereliction problem, electric trees, the concrete jungle Bishop Lusig part, the bridge to nowhere, the not event center. How do we hold the city management accountable? This is the pirate, by the way. I got a job with the council. It's clearly not working out. That's so a bit of context. There's a guy who keeps submitting questions as a pirate, asking pirate problems. Apparently, he now works for the Cork City Council. So that's
Very good. If I see someone coming out of Cork City Council with a eye patch, I'll know. It's,
You know it's him. You know it's him.
yeah, it's a systems problem. I think systems remove the ability to be agile. They remove the ability for somebody to make a decision and the city to go with it. There's like procurement, process, and like process is the system revolves to feed itself.
yeah.
So money seems to get wasted, but it gets spent on like people and paperwork instead of outcomes.
Yeah.
And so there just needs to be a come to Jesus moment. Like we all see the problems. Evidently, outside the people on the street see the problems.
Yeah.
People inside City Hall maybe not so much.
So what would be the solution to just cut the staff at the councils, to just cut it all down, or because at the end of the day, like it is a nice idea to focus on the outcomes, but how are you going to make that happen if you don't have any system in place? You know.
Yeah, so here's an interesting thought, maybe controversial, but there's a lack of diversity in City Hall. And as you know, I won't say the year again, but diversity is very important, right? And what kind of diversity am I talking about? I'm sure there are black people and Jewish people working and gay people working inside City Hall. There's no diversity of thought, right? So you might have people who look different, but if their mindset is all the same, if they're coming from the same areas, then that's a problem. And really we need people who think differently, who are solution orientated. And I just don't think those people get hired, right? Because like you don't want to hire that person, right? If you're the guy doing the interview, you'd be like, this guy might be a problem. I'll hire the other candidate who's the yes man.
It's starting to sound more and more like the way it just goes, start more and more like a corporation.
Ironically, it was called the Cork Corporation. They were all
every like tech company I've ever worked in has been like that, where it's like the people who like toe the party line and have like the same mindset, they move up. And if you're like actually trying to fix stuff, it's like, no, go away.
Yeah, don't rock the boat.
Yeah.
Literally, don't rock the boat. But we need to rock the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, like the problems are endemic. So
Yeah.
stuff needs to happen soon.
It's very like a school, isn't it? Where like all these people get hired and they start working there, and they might have like, you know, these, you know, plans and stuff that would be class, but they're kind of beaten down a bit by the teachers. You know, that's how I kind of feel. That's how it looks like from the outside to me anyway, where it feels kind of like, you know, they've got a few heads in there that are kind of controlling everything. They're the guys saying, don't bother doing anything, you know, just box ticking exercises. And
those are the extrapolations we speak about, because it's very hard to see behind. It's like the Wizard of Oz, you know, you don't really know what's happening behind the curtain, but you make the assumptions.
Yeah, you can see the awful results. Yeah, there has to be a reason for it. Yeah.
This park is lovely.
You know what? I never wanted the event center. I was like,
yeah. We didn't even ask for it.
I'm actually glad they never finished it, you know.
But if they did finish it, you know, do you think people would be complaining? You know,
I don't
this
know.
big concrete thing.
That's actually a good.
You're always going to have
Again,
people complain.
Aslan for the third week.
Yeah, Aslan. I don't even like the Kings of Leon. Have you? That's actually interesting because he did bring up the event center in detail. And we kind of talked about it a little bit the last week's episode, but I wouldn't know a lot about it. All I know is that I walked past it every day for the last 3 years and never saw anything built. Then suddenly stuff started happening, and now it's shut down. And it's just very confusing. Like, to me, that just seems like it just seems completely stupid.
Yes, but I mean, people are profiting even though there's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's on hold €700,000 in legal fees. I'm sure BAM are getting money by just walking around there. So, I mean, it's in their interest.
Why can't they just finish it?
They'd have to start it first.
Yeah, I suppose. But now we have a bridge that goes over there.
And that's it, isn't it? Doesn't it feel like because of all these kind of like top level decisions that we have, we end up with like stupid stuff that doesn't make sense in Cork. Like,
Yeah.
Wasn't there meant to be a bridge? So do you know if you're heading out towards the Jack Lynch Tunnel, you're leaving town, you've passed the Kent station, the train station, and there's this giant bridge that leads to 4 houses. Have you seen that? Like a giant highway thing. But I think that was originally meant to be a full bridge going all the way over towards Park Queeve, and they just stopped. They just didn't bother.
Just went the wrong way.
Yeah, it went the wrong way. It was like they tried to convince these 5 houses, we'll give you access, there'll be no problem, but there will be a bridge then going straight over. They did the access part, but they didn't do the bridge. So now you have these 4 or 5 houses out past the train station that have like the best entrance to their house ever. You know, they got this giant 2-road ramp that leads up to this, you know, big ass fucking bridge that brings them over to their 4 or 5 houses. And I'm like, it's so weird that so much money went into that.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge bridge. Like, it's not even discreet.
It's not a discreet bridge at all. They could play basketball on the bridge that they have.
2 things you can see from the space station: the Great Wall of China and that bridge.
And that bridge as well. I need to find out the name of it.
It's just so mind-boggling, you know, when you like see these decisions and you're just like, this is just any like common sense you think would solve some stuff like this. But I don't know. Do you think there's like political influence as well? Do you think like the people in Cork City Hall? Because I don't know about this stuff. But do like the higher ups there? Do they have party affiliations? Is there like stuff like that going on?
Totally, yeah. I mean, Kieran McCarthy, a councillor, he wanted to run for president. But Cork City Council wouldn't put him forward because Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil were told,
Great
don't
guy,
put
by the
anyone,
way.
don't put anyone forward. So absolutely, that all kind of happens.
That's crazy. Like,
insane. That's insane, and that should also not be the case because the management of the city shouldn't be for political gain. It should just be to make a better city.
yeah,
I think everybody would agree with that, you know.
yeah. And we could do with a purge as well. one day a year, Cork City.
Is that where you can murder
For
whoever
one
you
day?
want?
Yeah. Anything. Yeah. Any debauchery you could think of, you know. What we'll do for the day, though, is we'll run out, we'll take out all those shitty lights, we'll put up the black lanterns again.
It's the lights are getting cut.
Yeah.
Don't need a purge.
Speaking of which, what would you do with a purge? You don't have to answer that.
I don't know how the YouTube channels would grow in a purge, to be honest. That might be a bit of an obstacle.
Yeah, more bots.
More bots.
How's my click farm coming on?
I love it. Oh, let's go. But before we do any more submissions, just asking you really quick, what out of all the videos you've done, which one has been your favorite?
The really old one where I kayaked down the River Lee and looked at the bridges. That was my
I don't
favorite.
think I've seen that. I gotta
Kayak
check that
download is
out.
cool.
Yeah,
I gotta
these
check
two. I
that
did
out.
both channels, one north, one south, and look at the bridges and the architecture and stuff.
You
Unreal.
kayak down the river just to look at the bridges.
That's why he knows
we
so
sound
much
like
about that
With
bridge.
lots of expensive camera equipment as well.
Lots of-
I mean, filming the
That's-
bridges on the camera.
You sound like somebody who hates Cork, man. I don't know.
100%, yeah.
Oh, that's unreal. That's
That's
cool.
fucking amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's hard to top that, and I know obviously the newer ones are much more interesting for people, but I think it was just the experience. I went with my friend Shane as well, so we went down the Lee.
Did you damage anything, or did you get away with it?
I did capsize, yeah.
Oh my god,
Right
no!
by Jury's Hotel, or no, not Jury's, was the River Lee Hotel.
The River
Oh,
Lee
River Lee Hotel.
Yeah,
That's a bit of a nasty part of the river as well.
Right, yeah, it is.
Did
right,
you,
wild.
Did you lose equipment?
No, it all survived incredibly.
Oh my God.
But I mean, like, I got drenched. But it was great. Caught it on camera. That was it. The whole thing was staged. That's why I need you to be my stunt.
I'll be your stunt double. I will, of course. I can take a beat down the river. Just throw me down the rapids. I'll be fine. All right. So another one for yourself, Kevin. Why do they continually use this awful red surface for bike lanes? that are bumpy and full of potholes. As a cyclist, I can't use a lot of the cycle lanes, to the annoyance of drivers, because they are headache inducing. Although main roads aren't much better. And who plans these cycle lanes? Some are just dangerous, appearing and disappearing. Some have curbs, some don't. Some you cross with pedestrian lights, some you don't. Some lanes are on the opposite side of the road. It's just confusing and feels safer to stick to car lanes.
Yeah. Get the bus.
Get the bus.
If it shows up, dude, that's another.
So the city went on an excursion to Utrecht in the Netherlands to look at their cycling infrastructure. And then they came back here and they didn't implement any of that. I went on a cycle with, I think his name is Kevin or Sean from the Cork Cycling Campaign for a future video. And he showed me his experience of cycling around the city. And yeah, they do stop, they do start. The plans and what gets delivered always end up being different, which is disappointing because on paper, what's submitted, the things are much better and then the final product isn't. And, someone needs to answer to that. You can't say, here's what we're giving you and then deliver something that's less safe.
Yeah.
I don't know why they use the red stuff either. Sorry.
It seems weird because it's like a city that is so badly laid out for cycling around, but then the public transport is also horrible. But then there's also no parking in the city, so it's kind of like, do they not want people to travel? It just seems very like I always feel when I wasn't living as close to the as I was now, I felt very trapped because I was just up to a whim if I actually got to leave, and it seems very silly. I don't know.
Yeah, and the advent of cycling is now, right? Because the electric bike has arrived.
Yeah.
2026.
Yeah.
And obviously the topography of Cork means that cycling can be a challenge if you're out of shape and the bike is ordinary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I live at the top of a huge hill. So I fitted a motor and it's been game changing. And for sure, I think people have a misconception about the weather as well. They think like it's just prohibitive for cycling, but it's actually not.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it's etched into our heads,
Yeah, people would walk around in the rain, no problem. But then
in shorts
in the rain.
as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, cycling is great. I love cycling. I mostly do it for pleasure. I take the bus. I'm a multimodal transport user. I walk, I take the bus, I cycle, and I drive. But my favorite thing is cycling.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
It is really nice. And that's maybe like the mainland European in me, but I love a cycle around. It's very, very good.
I would love if they just finished the Lee to Sea Greenway. That is like a low cost, low effort, high value project. And it's there sporadically, on the North Quay of the river, there's a cycle lane and then you come to the Franciscan Well and then you go off through the forest and over the bridge and out by Fitzgerald's Park.
Yeah.
And to the marina, like that bit is all done. They need to work with the ESB to take the land in front of the power station, in front of like the old Ford building. And so instead of going down Centre Park Road when you pass City Hall, you continue along the river, right? That's the idea. And then you're on to the new Marina Promenade. That needs to happen in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Cork has these tentpole projects and people are like, Kevin, where's the balance? The Marina Park's great. Okay, it doesn't have a toilet. But sure, like one project every 5 years, is that what I'm sticking around for?
Yeah.
Is that what I bought my house here for? And what are they going to do in 2030? Like people need to be looking and pointing at something every 6 months and saying, this is an improvement. That's not happening. That needs to be the rate of progress. Every 6 months, incremental stuff, not a tentpole project every decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you, are you, because at the moment, the city, like especially the city center, it doesn't feel super like traversable to me by bike when you're like in the middle of the city, right? I feel like there's a lot of traffic there. There's a lot of like pile-ups of cars when you're in there. Are you a fan of having a city center that is like without cars, that's fully walkable?
Yeah, I think that would be lovely. And I think it's moving that way. I mean, you kind of Patrick Street, but then either side of Patrick Street is roughly pedestrianised.
Yeah.
With Oliver Plunkett Street and French Church Street.
Yeah, and it's nice.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like it. I wouldn't even mind seeing like the Cran Parade if they like that would look cool if it was pedestrian.
Yeah,
but
100%.
obviously it wouldn't work because there's just like I don't know, there's 4 or 5 focal points in Cork where you can get in and out. And I feel like you'd need that road. But just really talking about the cycle lanes in town, do you know the way that they're absolutely everywhere? Do you think it would be in the benefit of the council just to get someone else, maybe someone else that worked on other city councils, to come in and just restructure the whole thing? Because I feel like they could make, everyone happy if it was restructured correctly. If they fixed a couple of things, as opposed to doing all these little projects, as you say. Like they made McCurtain Street a two-way street 2 years ago, I think, and that kind of messed everything up. And I've been hearing people saying ever since they made this two-way, it's so hard to get from the north side of Cork into the city.
Oh man, Summerhill.
Yeah,
man, what a disaster.
Crazy.
In a humble city, they just go and fix that right away. But it's like, well, we've done this and now you'll just have to endure it.
Yeah.
And the idea is that at the end of Summerhill, they put in the bus corridor lane. But because, I have it on good authority, the bus is also stuck in the same traffic from Dillon's Cross till the end of Summerhill, that tiny 5-meter section at the end where it's allowed to turn hasn't worked out great.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Our Merchants Quay, for example, they have the bus that parks in there and takes a break for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they didn't just move the cycle lane in a bit and then had a little curb where that bus could pull in and chill. Because every time it stops,
it's dug up again now. I mean,
is it?
I don't know how much they spent on it, but they've decided they want to spend more. It's crazy. Obviously, there's a controversial issue happening in Knockpogue and Knockfree Avenue up in Farranree, where they're putting in a bike lane against the residents' wishes.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think it's specifically against the residents' wishes, but they are removing the only parking for the school. So good luck getting to school. That's somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
The church.
The church, the trees, chopping down the trees, Farranree, 8% tree canopy, one of the lowest in the cities. I just think that plan just needs to be better. That's all.
Yeah. As a native from Knockpogue Avenue, I agree with you. And my family are out there.
Norries for life.
Norries for life. Yeah. But no, it's a crazy one. Like that one, Knockpogue Avenue and Knockfree Avenue, that one's particularly kind of crazy to me because the whole push for me in my head was that the cycle lanes were for the environment, We're trying to be more environmentally friendly, but by doing this, it's going to have a negative impact. To me, it clearly is, like cutting down all those trees. I feel like they're the only trees that are on that whole road,
Right.
Yeah.
That's what actually an avenue is a tree-lined road. So unless they're going to change the name as well, like Knockpogue Street.
Knockpogue Street. Oh, yuck.
It's really disappointing, and it's just further symbol of a disconnection between the city and the people and their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I watched the debate on this in City Hall, I think 2 weeks ago, and there's just a little bit of contempt for people. And the city, there's protesters every day blocking Sorensen from doing their building work. There's a WhatsApp group, there's a coordinated effort from residents out every morning in the rain at 7 a.m. to stop the machinery happening. And they're not backing down. And my God, I hope the whole city gets behind them.
Yeah. I hope so too. I know a couple of other people, and I do see the passion there as well, in the people, and it doesn't make sense putting the cycle lanes there. I don't get it. I walk my dog through that road nearly every day. I never see people cycling on the road, If people are cycling, they're usually cycling down to Blackpool.
It's at the top of a mountain.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Cork City Council, they would put a cycle lane for Frodo and fucking Bilbo to get their way all the way to Mount Doom. Yeah. That's kind of how crazy it is, isn't it?
I'll just cycle up Poppins Hill there. Yeah. Oh, perfect.
That is mental. It is mental.
Yeah. Although, albeit I do like cycle lanes, and I do like when I'm cycling, there's an easier route to go places. So, I'm definitely not against it.
No, not at all. It just needs to be a better plan.
Yeah,
keep the
100%.
trees. It might need to be on a slightly adjacent road. There just needs to be a better plan.
Yeah.
If you could snap your fingers and do one miracle for the city, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
We're back to the purge, are we?
We're back to the purge. Yeah. One day a year, I would like to kill everyone. No.
If I could snap my fingers and do one thing for the city,
Yeah.
the event center place would be a park, and where the old tax offices would be a park.
Yeah.
And there'd be a section over the river connecting those two, which would also be a park. So you have this like park boulevard.
Yeah.
That would be sick. Yeah. Is that so?
Did it work?
I see.
Can we send someone out to check?
Yeah. Are the
Is there
parks
grass there now?
Yeah, no, it's all fixed. Unfortunately, the bike lane is still coming in.
We tried Doc Pug Avenue. I'm sorry. Unreal. Will I read us one?
Yeah, do it.
I do love that people are.
Well, what be if you could snap your fingers and change one thing? What would that be?
Change one thing in Cork. What would it be? See, I actually don't know. Bring back the Gate Cinema. No. It would probably be to do with traffic, because I can clearly see over the past 10 years, every year, how worse it's been getting, you know, like subtly. And now, like, if I judge a journey, you know, from driving even 5 years ago than I do today, like, it's not doubled in length, but it's gotten to the point where I'm like, this is considerable, you know? And it's even got me thinking, like, you know, is there someone who monitors how many cars are in a city, you know, like, and should that be a thing?
Yeah.
You know? Because I do know. Anyway, look, that's what I would change.
That would be mine too. I don't even drive, but my immediate thought was free accessible parking, like slightly
accessible.
outside the city, so the cars don't need to fucking pile up in the city anymore.
Yeah, and half the cars,
Yeah,
you know, like
half the
I
cars.
feel like Irish people are very much like, we need 2 cars in our family. You don't. You could do it with 1 car.
I feel like
know?
if you just make it easy to go and park your car somewhere, and then you have an easy way to get into the city, a lot of those problems would disappear.
It would. Yeah, a cheaper way. As well.
Yeah, an easy and cheap way, which is what European cities do. It's just they don't do it over here.
They don't do it here.
What we could really tap into is like using technology and like, you know, ride sharing apps.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's just a fleet of cars all around, and there's one like 2 minutes from your house. You drive that to work, and then somebody else can take it. But
Yeah.
there's just enough of them in
really
circulation
like that.
it
Yeah.
just keeps things moving.
I've seen that in England with the scooters, the electric scooters. You could like rent those out and drive on. But with cars, it would be pretty cool. I would say it'd be very hard to get the Irish people to carpool. It's not really a tradition we have over here, you know.
It's kind of associated with personal freedom here a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I find if you have your own car, you kind of become a like, fuck off the rest of you. Kind of that's the vibe I get from most Irish people with cars, you know.
Did you see the in-betweeners?
Yeah,
Like, bus wankers.
The bus wankers. Exactly. I feel like that's our mentality over here with cars.
Yeah, you
know?
buy a car, you immediately vote for Fine Gael every year, isn't it?
Yeah. I got 3 cars. I'm a Fianna Fáiler. Brilliant stuff. All right, 1 second. So we actually have some categories. If you wanted, I could tell you the categories, and you could tell me what to read from.
Yes. Okay. So what are the categories?
So we have love and relationship,
What's the next category?
work and career, mental mayhem, big world problems. Then we kind of have wild cards as well,
I'll take 1
And
from the
crimes
bottom
and
and 2 from the top, please, Chris.
And crimes and confessions.
and crimes and confessions.
Absolutely not that one. So what's under big world problems?
Big world problems. All right. Yo, Kev, love your work. Whoever has been the Cork City manager has a lot to answer for. Record dereliction, record homelessness, record crime, no event centre, still flooding, electric trees and bike lanes and bridges to nowhere. Who elects the manager? Who elects the city manager? I believe we kind of covered this one already.
Well, this guy had the exact same issues as the pirate, which is interesting.
As the pirate,
Yeah, they had the exact same issues. The dereliction is a fucking really annoying thing.
You could
though,
do
as well.
confessions, so go on.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
All right, we knocked
I'm
that
at
one
my
off.
most vulnerable.
Confessions, crimes and confessions. All right, this isn't even one for you. This is just a statement. Ireland is so backwards. I buy my weed off the shades. That's what he said. Which is probably true. You know, you never know. All right, let's get a proper one going. All right, we'll go wild cards. All right. For Kevin, have you ever been approached by the city council to tie in with a design project?
No.
No?
I have met with the councillors, but
Would that be something you'd like to do?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm available. I'll do it for free. The solutions are visible.
Yeah.
They're not out of reach. So
It could get there. I'd love to see you actually end up, making a big change in the city. I think you really could. to
I
be
think the
honest.
change is afoot. I think this is the first time conversations of this scale have been happening, and people's awareness is pointed where it needs to be at the moment.
Yeah, which is good. Which is really good. And would you? Which one would you kill? all right.
Would you stop it with the purge, Chris? It's not-
We need a Cork City Purge 2027. All right. There's honestly, most of these are probably going to sound very similar to each other because you are right. People do have the same problems in Cork specifically.
I can read one out. You did the last few.
Yeah. Go for it.
If the problem with the city is the bureaucracy, whether it's by lack of accountability around public spending or just general malaise around making improvements, the sure it'll be grand mentality is killing us. Complaining is like shouting into a black hole. My question is, given the nature of the system as it stands, what can we do to get the ball rolling on effective change to bring the city back to the life and revamp the council?
Acknowledgement, awareness, like you have to say there is a problem.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a refusal to do that. They're like, nope, thriving. Absolutely thriving.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
Pat on the back, we're doing great.
Yeah, so
Again, it's a corporation. That's what it
it is, yeah. You need to just come out and be authentic and be honest.
Yeah.
You can still be yourself, but like you just have to like look honestly at things. And I mean, and if you don't see it, then that's a problem. If you don't see the problems, then maybe you need to ask yourself, are you the best person to be occupying that position? Like if you can't tap into what people feel and experience in the city, are you the best person to be guiding it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, to be honest, that's probably nothing more needs to be said than that, really,
Well, we're done here.
You're either good for the job or you're not,
I do have this is not in the submissions, but there's one thing that really stuck with me when I was watching one of your videos, and it was the Cork City, Provincial City video. And it was, you were talking about the nightlife culture in Cork. And you're talking about how the night culture in Cork is really struggling because there's no day culture in Cork and they feed into each other. And I find that fascinating as somebody who runs a late night business, who runs a comedy club, where that is virtually something we've been struggling against for a long time, because for a lot of people who come to our business and to our club, it's the first time they've gone to do like a late night entertainment thing of the sorts. And even the fact that you can go do it is something that's like completely new to them. And to me, that's always been wild, because in every other big city that you go to, like a comedy club is like a fairly normal pastime. But over here, it seems like such a novel, new idea. And that is wild to me, To me, that is absolutely crazy. Because even in Germany, where comedy is like, not at the forefront of our national talents, going to a comedy night is still a very normal thing to do.
Yeah, 100%. And it is small, independent people like carving out a nighttime scene for Cork. And I know there's the Roundy and Coonahans and maybe another third-rate institution, I'm not sure. But it's really problematic.
Yeah.
The obviously the Crawford closing really annoyed me.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't annoy me. It's going to be done up. It's going to be fantastic when it's finished. I think what?
There was so much hatred in that.
I love that. Bring out the purge.
That they didn't put anything in the interim. I think they
Yeah.
have a road show, like there's some art in Enniskerry or Enniscorthy. But what about me? I live here.
Yeah.
So like, where's my art? Modest childhood. One of my things that my dad and I used to go doing for culture was liftos. So there was a beautiful elevator in Savills. Is that right? Quills on Patrick Street,
Yeah.
where Mango is now. Beautiful elevator. Glass, gold, red carpet. We used to go to the elevators in Paul Street, shopping centre, Merchants Quay. Really fun way to spend a day. I mean, that's culture as well.
Go up and down the elevator.
Pretty much, yeah. Different elevators. I remember when I went to Silver Springs, hotel. My mind was blown when I saw the one in Silver Springs Hotel. But that's culture too.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this tangent?
I suppose it's like, how can it be that in this city in particular, it's lacking so much when it comes to trying to motivate people to go out and enjoy the culture of the city, whether it be a museum, whether it be a fancy lift, whether it be a comedy club. When even in Dublin, that problem isn't the thing.
I think, ultimately, first of all, culture behind a paywall. I think that's where I was going with the lifts, right? So lifts are free. Unless in the future they're planning you have to put in like a 20-cent coin to get to your floor, and you have to pay for your parking ticket. What a joke! But I think what I said in the provincial studio was misconstrued by some people. They talk about culture behind a paywall. Film festivals and stuff that's on for a few days and you have to get a ticket for it. I'm talking about like a guy with a couple of kids who doesn't want to spend €100 to go to a food festival or what's for free. What can you do in the evenings? What can you walk around? You don't need money, right? Yeah. You should just be able to enjoy a city. And at the moment, Cork is somewhat like just a money extraction vehicle. Everything is, you can, there's literally, what can I go in and do in Cork today that's free? I can sit on the granite slabs on St. Patrick's Street, but what else?
Yeah, it's very true.
Disappointing. Okay, so the Glucksman is outside. Blackrock Castle Observatory, that is ticketed, but it's fantastic. Nano Nagle, you can walk around there actually. That's free.
Elizabeth Fort, I suppose.
Elizabeth Fort, yeah. So there are little things. Nothing at night. And culture, the reason that it struggles is because it's, normal. It's supposed to be free, but running the culture isn't free. So the government subsidizes it.
Yeah.
So you have 20 plus museums and galleries and institutions in Dublin that you could spend days walking around. The National Gallery is absolutely mind blowing.
Amazing.
It's just everything is it's just next level, insane. And, so if Dublin is 2 million people, and Cork is, the metro area is 500,000. So Cork has none, but Dublin has 20. That's the imbalance.
Yeah.
And Dublin wants to siphon water from the Shannon, and they want to put wind turbines on the west coast and bring the energy over. It takes everything from everywhere else, but I'm annoyed because it's taken our culture.
Yeah. That's well said, 100%. Yeah.
I really like the elevator thing. I really love that you and your dad used to just go up and down the elevators and stuff.
We walk down from St. Luke's and go in. The one in Quills is gone, unfortunately. And the one in Paul Streets have recently been replaced. So I think the oldest elevators you can get in the city are still in Merchants Quay. Go while they're still there.
Go while they're still there.
Yeah, we can go after this, Chris.
Blackpool Shopping Centre, right, had an elevator that brought you up to the sound store because it's mainly a one floor, the whole place, but there's one sound store up above, and they had an elevator that would bring you up. And I remember as a teenager, we learned that if you tried to open the door while it was going, don't ask how we learned that, but it would just stop the elevator. So some of the lads, right? Oh my God, it was kind of crazy. But some of the lads, once it got halfway, and this was a glass elevator, this is completely left field away from the story, but the elevator would go up halfway, and one of my buddies, he would open up the fucking elevator. It would stop because the doors are now open. He would crawl out, and if there was people in the elevator with him, he just got them stuck. He just got them stuck in the elevator. Then it waited 5 minutes for someone to come and let them out.
Oh my God.
We played that prank on each other a couple of times. I never
and
did
that's
it.
culture.
And that's culture.
That's culture.
Yeah, that is culture.
And it's free.
It is free.
It's free. Running around supermarkets and stuff.
We talk about the city, and there's problems in the city, but Christ, when you go to the suburbs, right? I mean, Blackpool has just been left. It's like nobody's child.
No one knows what's going on.
That's not acceptable at all.
Yeah.
And it feels strange to put Douglas in the same sentence, but Douglas has also kind of been left to its own devices,
Yeah.
And
there's nothing to do.
Just get it together.
There's nothing to do every time I
Douglas
go to any of the suburbs. Nothing to do.
No, and that should be a thing, right? So I mean, the city shouldn't act as something to siphon everyone in. If you could say, well, I mean, if you lived in Dublin, you could say, well, let's go to the Stella Theatre in Ranelagh or Rathmines, and there's other nice areas. You could say, well, let's go to Glanmire this evening. There's a nice park. We can have a few beers, have a barbecue. This is just what happens in other places.
Yeah.
So I'm told. But again, the only kind of functioning suburb is Ballincollig. It has the scale and it's independent and it has a nice huge regional park. so we can go to Ballincollig.
Yeah.
But like, we need to bring vibrancy back to Douglas, back to Blackpool. Those are kind of the main towns in Glanmire. Those are the main towns around Cork, and they need some love as well. Like, I get that, like, all the projects, they're just roads projects, like more roads, like better roads, less potholes. But like, what else could you do? Take your mind out of roads for a moment and think about something else.
Doesn't even extend to the county a little bit. Like, if you think about it, a lot of the places in Cork County that you go to in like East and West Cork, there's so little to do now. Like,
and Youghal is a sad example
yeah,
of
the cinema just closed. There was like the only thing it going for was like a nice, beautiful old cinema. Gone now.
No, but back in the day when I was a kid, Youghal was like this vibrant place. You know? And I maybe I'm looking at it with rose tinted glasses, but it just felt like that was the place to be. There was hundreds of people there. Hundreds of people used to flock down every day. You know, there used to be a train. You used to be able to get a train from Cork all the way down to Youghal. And now every time I've been to Youghal, it's actually sad.
Depressing.
Looking at it. It's like looking, you know, it's literally like looking at a dead relative, you know. It's like, you're just like, oh my God, this place is nothing anymore. You know?
Beautifully embalmed all the same. You know, just
You would be saying, well, they would have loved this.
the government spends 10 billion on NGOs. Okay, so that doesn't deliver culture, infrastructure, or anything. It's PDFs, policies, and strategies. 10 billion a year. I mean, that's not the right place to be spending money.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to be spending on money that you can point to it and you can say, money bought this and this is good. Like, you can't point to the work NGOs do. And okay, GAAs are NGOs and charities are NGOs. There are 34,000 NGOs though. So I would say less than 1,000 are like doing civic good. And then what are the rest doing? Posh social welfare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm going to get in trouble.
Nah, you'll be fine.
You're fine. We'll cut it. We'll just
cut
keep
the whole episode.
The purge stuff. We'll keep that.
Yeah, the Indiana. We'll talk about Indiana Jones again. Yeah. You know, I just want to point out that the time I died, we didn't know how long we were doing, and Sean had the brain idea of just writing 50 minutes why it was. And I don't know when he put that on there, so it could have been.
No, he's been writing every minute.
Oh, you've been updating it. That's hilarious.
He's been updating it. Well, we probably have enough time for one or two more.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're up for it, and we can call it there. 1 second now. Do we have any more? Oh, some of these might
Can you pass
not
me that
be
over?
for you.
I want to show the people what you've done. There you go. This is our new watch.
Nice. That's putting Apple to shame.
Yeah. If you wait long enough, it actually changes.
Right. It's an iPad and a watch in one.
All right, this one's a small one, but nothing to do with anything you've heard so far. So, what is the biggest thing that annoys you about work?
Having to deliver my lines to camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is, yeah. I have this my eyes dart everywhere.
When you're on the camera.
Yeah, I find it very hard to just like keep looking at the lens.
Because it's unnatural, like, you know, it's unnatural having a conversation.
What's your system? Do you do the thing where you repeat every line until you're happy with it, or do you repeat the script as a whole and then give it another take?
Oh Christ! If I can just get it out and it's done, I'm like, that's good enough.
Fair enough. I did the whole, like, I would say every like line or two lines like 50 times until I'm happy with it, and then the editing would be a nightmare afterwards.
You can remember the lines though, and that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's comedy experience. Yeah.
My memory's shot. Too much LDS.
LDS.
Liquid
Too much
display
NDLS.
systems.
Yeah.
I see parks everywhere.
Oh, brilliant. All right. Hi, Kevin. Love the videos. How could we go about implementing the changes you talk about in your videos? And would you ever be interested in running for office yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Running for office now, no. The systems have to change. And I think we can do that better with external pressure.
Yeah.
I think if you go into the mix, then you're just in the blender.
Yeah.
You're like, when am I going to be made smoothie?
Cool. So we just need to start a riot
Awakening.
Similar to Purge.
A gentle
right.
awakening, like lavender on your pillow in the morning, and you wake up and you're like, actually, it could be better.
It could work.
And
that,
someone
yeah.
is accountable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing as well. Like people are saying that maybe the provincial city was really personal. I don't think it was. Like if you're in that position and you're responsible for it, it's okay to address you. You
Yeah.
know, you're not
Yeah,
above.
exactly.
You're not above
100%.
critique.
I don't understand why people would even consider what you're saying is any bit, rude towards the city council. It's a bit
because
stupid if they're not being held culpable for the things that they're doing, especially if the majority of people don't like what they're doing, you know?
Yeah, but there's still a bit of like decency culture, like don't rock the boat in Ireland. That's kind of the reason why I think, that's kind of a thing over here more than in other countries where like, oh, you said someone's name, you criticize what they do, you must be the evil guy who rocks the boat. It's like, no, that's not how it works.
People are afraid
supposed to
to
have
wake
open
up under a bike lane.
Yeah.
You never know.
But also, like you sound like you want to, you would run for office to like change things and actually implement things, not for career and money. And I think you're probably not suited for politics, so that's not gonna.
Yeah, I've got a short term to do this. Like my plan is like retiring to like a commune somewhere. So like I'll give it 110% for 5 years and we'll see how far we get.
You have my vote anyway. And we'll talk about the person.
I think we've gone through everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there was a few others when
kind of callbacks to some other stuff. Yeah.
There's no point doing them this episode. So, thank you very much for coming on. This has been an absolute blast.
Thank you so much,
had
guys.
The
Thanks,
best
Kevin.
time.
Me too.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it, yeah. Ha do ufi. Everybody check that out.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kev, and thanks for coming on, and thanks for fighting the good fight, man. It's nice to see people out there doing stuff for change, instead of just going, fuck it, what can we do, So thank you for that.
100%. 100%. And come now to Fanry and protest the bike lane.
Yeah, definitely.
that.
Knock Pogue Avenue.
Knock Pogue
Fuck the
Avenue.
rest of them. Have a good one. Bye.
Have a good one. Thanks for listening.